Purpose over pleasure. You see, a lot of people are so focused on the pleasures of life rather than the purpose, and they choose the pleasure over the purpose because pleasure is now. We've got instant gratification, things like social media, entertainment, TV, whatever it is, instant gratification. You can literally get anything you want by the click of the fingers. You want a meal? Go on a delivery app. You'll get food within minutes. Everything in today's culture and the way we live our life is everything's instant. No one has to wait anymore. You don't even have to go shopping. You can just your shopping online. You don't even have to leave your house. Everything is so quick. Instant gratification. You want this? Get it. Back in the day, people genuinely had to wait or had to just work towards something. And a lot of people are choosing the pleasure side of things over the purpose because pleasure is right now. Purpose takes some time. And because of instant gratification and how we live in today's society, people are not used to waiting for things. They're not used to waiting in line anymore. They're not used to doing these things that they used to do back in the day because everything is so quick. No one's actually gonna go outside, right, and go get a takeout. No one's gonna drive all the way to bloody, I don't know, what's a McDonald's, right, and get their food. They just order it online. You don't need to leave your house. Everything is with a click of a finger. So this video is called Purpose Over Pleasure. But before I get to what I'm speaking about in this video, I'm just gonna break down the meaning of pleasure and purpose. So pleasure in this context is anything that offers fleeting satisfaction, right? Like indulging in fast food, watching content online, just, you know what pleasure is, right? Just the good things, right? Sitting down, relaxing, watching Netflix with your feet up, the pleasures, the things that feel good now, the instant things. Now, the thing with pleasure is that it often feels good just in the moment, right? All the things I just named about pleasure, it only feels good just there and then. But after that is done and the fast food's finished, your TV show's done, or you've ran out of social media content to scroll on, after that's all done, you tend to feel this unfulfilled emptiness inside because pleasure's not long term. That's the thing. It's only now. Instant gratification. It's only there and then. That's why this video is called Purpose Over Pleasure, because purpose, which I'm going to get to, in the long run, is going to make you feel much better than pleasure. Now, moving on to purpose. Purpose is something that gives your life a direction. It gives your life a direction and it makes you feel fulfilled and it gives your life meaning. So it's basically the opposite of pleasure. Examples of purpose could be like a career goal, your passion, a mission that you want to complete, anything that gives your life a direction and it makes you feel fulfilled. For example, me recording these videos gives my life a direction and it makes me feel fulfilled. Anything that makes you feel good. It's a goal. It's the opposite of pleasure and it's more of a long-term thing. So I've discussed both purpose and I've discussed pleasure. Now, the impact of choosing purpose over pleasure is things like greater resilience, right? Greater self-respect, greater discipline. All these benefits, greater on your journey to self-improvement. And a greater satisfaction, because pleasure, you don't get satisfied long term. You need something that makes you feel happy while you're doing it and after you've done it. Not something that's good in the moment and then you're regretting it after and wish you've done that thing instead of that thing. And choosing purpose over pleasure is going to leave you feeling satisfied because you know you've done something that's got you better and got closer to a goal that you're working on. The people who focus on purpose tend to experience a deeper meaning of happiness. They tend to feel more fulfilled and happy with their lives rather than quick high and dopamines from things like Netflix and scrolling on your phone all day. Now, I want to talk about the balance of both purpose and pleasure. Pleasure isn't inherently bad. If you use it correctly and the right times, it can be healthy. But the key thing to acknowledge is that you can't overshadow the pleasures of life with your purpose. You can't be doing pleasurable things more than the purpose. The purpose has to be the number one priority, then the pleasures. I'm not making this video to say you shouldn't be watching TV shows or doing this or doing that or scroll. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it at all. I'm just saying make sure you choose the purpose over the pleasure. So you're putting the purpose first and putting the pleasure last. Pleasure can be a healthy thing when you use it correctly. Now, some tips to how to find balance when it comes to balancing both pleasure and purpose is setting boundaries for yourself. So you don't do this until you've done that. Once you have that mindset and mentality, it becomes easier to balance and juggle both pleasure and purpose. So basically use pleasure as a reward after reaching closer to your goal. Strategies to prioritize purpose: setting clear goals, having a daily routine that aligns you to your purpose. So I always talk about this in my video, having a clear to-do list, a routine that you want to get yourself into that aligns you to your purpose, and learning how to delay gratification. Now, I just want you to close your eyes and reflect on what your purpose is and the steps that you can take to align yourself to get there and get closer to your purpose. So I want you to think about the routine you do every morning. First, the night before, then the morning, because it all starts with the night before. I want you to think about all the things that you're going to do that's going to implement you and get you closer to living a more purposeful life, right? And then open your eyes once you're done. Now, my last point I'm going to talk about in this video is overcoming challenges. The challenges of choosing purpose over pleasure. The challenges are usually temptation, social pressures, and just a moment of doubt. Now, to overcome temptations and the social pressures, I want you guys to think about who you have around you, because there's going to be a time a lot of people, they're on their self-improvement journey and they might go out, right? And they're still with the same people that are doing the bad habits that they're trying to get away from. So say you go to a friend's house, but you're on self-improvement, right? You go to a friend's house, all your friends are there and they're all ordering pizza, but you're on your self-improvement journey and you're trying to do a bit better with your diet. You understand that having a healthy balance with pleasure and purpose is good, but not just unnecessary, right? So in that moment, you know that you should be on a strict diet and you're supposed to be eating clean foods. And that's a temptation because you're around people that are eating bad food, but you're not trying to eat bad food. So that's an example of a temptation. Now, social pressures, societal pressures with certain things, not specifically that, but you know, when you go out, it's kind of linked to the temptations, I guess. And then a moment of doubt. A lot of people, when they're choosing purpose over pleasure, they have doubt about it. They're thinking, you know, what if I'm doing all this work and I don't get anything out of it, which is very rare. And this usually happens when there's not a balance. When you balance everything correctly and you balance the purpose and the pleasure, you won't even have a moment of doubt because you know the pleasures are still going to be there. So once you have that in line, you won't even have a moment of doubt because everything will be going so smoothly for you. Now, I hope this video is not long, but I'm going to wrap it up. I'm just going to conclude what I've said in this video. So my main point in this video was to reinforce purpose and pleasure and how pleasure is easy and it's instant gratification. And I gave you examples: eating junk food, scrolling on social media, etc. And it's something that makes you feel unsatisfied and empty inside after, not fulfilled after. Whereas purpose is the complete opposite and you feel much more fulfilled after you've done that purposeful act, whether that's a career goal, you know, personal clear goal that you want to set, or just getting closer on your self-improvement journey. And it's a lasting fulfillment, whereas pleasure is a temporary fulfillment. Now, I just want to encourage everyone that's watching this to really think about their goals and think about the life that they want. And I want you to make conscious decisions on how you're going to get there with the purpose over pleasure. Using this purpose over pleasure, you will succeed. With that being said, make sure you guys stay focused, stay determined, and most importantly, stay disciplined. I'll catch you guys in the next video.